Ra is one of the three hybrid letters in Arabic, which can be pronounced as heavy or light letters. But what is different about Ra is that it is the letter with the most number of rules, 14 rules to be exact, which determine whether you should pronounce it as a heavy Ra or light Ra. And in certain cases, either way would be possible. So this number of rules causes many confusions to a lot of people. But in this lesson, you will learn an extremely easy trick through which you can identify the correct application of Ra without memorizing the 14 rules and completely effortlessly. So what is this trick? Well, it is a quite simple one. The trick is that you will link Ra to one of the three short vowels. If Ra has to do with Fatha or Dhamma in any way, you will pronounce it as a heavy Ra. But if it has to do with Kasra in any way, you will pronounce it as a light Ra. So how does that work then? Well, if Ra has Fatha or the letter before it, or two letters before it has Fatha, if they otherwise have Sukun, you will always pronounce it as a heavy Ra, like Rabb, Ra with Fatha, so heavy. Barq, we look at the letter before Ra because it has Sukun in this case. Al-Asr, we look at two letters before Ra because they have Sukun. Now, the same principle goes for Dhamma. If Ra has Dhamma, or the letter before it, or two letters before it has Dhamma, if they otherwise have Sukun, then you will always pronounce a heavy Ra. So it is the exact same principle. Ruh, Ra with Dhamma, heavy. Qur'an, the letter before Ra has Dhamma, so it is heavy. Khusr, the second letter before Ra has Dhamma, so it is heavy. Now, for the Kasra, we also apply the exact same principle. If it has Kasra, or the letter before it has Kasra, or two letters before it has Kasra, and related to Kasra is Ya when it comes before Ra at the end of words. And as usual, we only look at these letters before Ra only in case of Sukun. And all of these give us a light Ra, like Riha. It has Kasra, so it is light. Fir'aun, the letter before it has Kasra, so it is light. Hijr, the second letter before it has Kasra, so it is light. Qadir, Ya before Ra at the end of words, so it is light. Now, knowing this simple principle covers more than 95% of all the Ra cases in the entire Quran. If Ra is related to Fatha or Dhamma, apply heavy Ra. If it is related to Kasra, then apply light Ra. But then, what about the remaining 5%? Well, these are some exceptional cases, which you can learn by heart, and dealing with them will be easy, insha'Allah, since they are just a few cases. The first case is, if Ra is preceded by Hamzat al-Wasl, then you will always pronounce a heavy Ra. Irji'u, Urkud. Second, these three words get heavy Ra in spite of being preceded by a Kasra. Irsada, Qirtas, Firqah. Third, these five words can be heavy or light. So you can choose to ignore these five words because pronouncing them either way is correct. Now let's see some examples to learn how to apply the principle that we just learned in practice. In this ayah, we have three words that have Ra in them. The first one has Fatha, so it is heavy. Tarabbus. The second one has Sukun, but the letter before it has Fatha, so it is still related to Fatha, so it is also heavy. Arba'ah. Here it is related to Dhamma, since the Ra gets Sukun when we stop at it. Ashhur. Tarabbusu arba'ati ashhur. However, if we keep reading and we didn't stop at the word ashhur, then Ra will be related to Kasra because it will have Tanween Kasra, and it will be a light Ra. تربص أربعة أشهر فإن فاءوا. Another example. Here, all of these words are related to Fatha, so they are all heavy ra. Here, ra is at the end of the word, and we are stopping at it, and before it, there is a ya. So it is light, and we say as-sayr with ra. But if we continue, the fatha will be activated and the ra will regain its heaviness, and we will say وَقَدَّرْنَا فِيهَا السَّيْرَ سِيرُوا فِيهَا. So again, we only look at what comes before ra if it has sukun. If it has something on it, then it will be related to the short vowel that is on it. One last example. If you stop at these ayat, ra gets the temporary sukun, so they will all be related to fatha. وَالْفَجْرِ وَلَيَالٍ عَشْرٍ وَالشَّفْعِ وَالْوَتْرِ وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا يَسْرٍ. But if we continue, they will all get their kasra, and they will all be related to kasra, and so they will be light ra. وَالْفَجْرِ وَلَيَالٍ عَشْرٍ وَالشَّفْعِ وَالْوَتْرِ وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا يَسْرٍ. Remember, the word yasr can be heavy or light, so either way will be correct. So, in conclusion, when seeing any ra in the Quran, you should ask yourself, which short vowel is it related to? If it has to do with fatha or dhamma, whether on the ra itself, or the first or the second letter before it, then you always pronounce a heavy ra. But if it has to do with kasra, whether on it or the first or the second letter before it, then pronounce a light ra, except in these three words. And if ra is preceded by hamzat al-wasl, then you always pronounce a heavy ra. With this little information, you can pronounce any ra in the Quran correctly, insha'Allah. Thanks for watching. If you want to start learning the Tajweed, then start with this playlist. And also, don't forget to check my latest book about Tajweed and download the companion app. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.